Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to TD Rantz, Team Diverge's very first podcast. I'm gonna be your host, X Wibby. I got my co-host right here, Mr. Microwave TV, and we got two guests with us. We got Cam Work and we got Maddie Hunni. We're gonna introduce them right now, so you guys get an idea of like who these people are and stuff. We're gonna bring on new guests every week and different topics. So right now we got Cam Work and we got Maddie Hunni. One of the questions I got for you is, how long have you been content creating for?
Consistently probably about like 8-9 months, but I started Twitch like 2 years ago.
Okay, sounds good.
So I did it just kind of like as a hobby before then.
For sure. I feel like all of us have really gotten into it as a hobby and stuff, and just meeting new people and like broadcasting, our gameplay and stuff. And never really thought that we could probably end up doing this as careers and stuff. That's not our initial thought. Yep. Some people maybe during the quarantine times maybe thought that, because they saw all these other people doing it.
Yeah, that's when I started, and I had like the dream of doing that, and then I kind of like gave up on it, and then I was like, nah, wait, I really want to dedicate some time to this.
What got you into content creating again?
Being stuck inside my house.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, you were one of those people around that time then.
Wait, real quick, can I ask?
Yeah.
Has anybody started streaming before COVID?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
I started just before it.
I started way before that.
Just before it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah, I started before it because when like Modern Warfare had come out, I was playing with some friends. And, like, we were insane at the game, or so we thought. So we were like, okay, let's start the stream. And I did my first stream from like a PS4, like just the game capture or whatever bullshit they had. Nobody watched it, nobody did anything, but I was having a blast with it. Went out the next day, bought a capture card, microphone, camera, everything.
Yeah.
Like we're doing it.
Okay.
And then I didn't touch any of it for like months.
Oh, so every other streamer ever.
Yeah.
What game do you main, Cam?
Valorant, a lot of Valorant right now. I'll play Apex, Fall Guys, really anything. I don't think I have a main game anymore.
Okay.
If you asked me like a few weeks ago, I would have told you Valorant, but
Valorant. Is that the content that you normally push out to on your pages?
It is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, because like I look at it and like I was just explaining to chat that I try to like not get into like a specific niche for like my content, because I want to be able to post whatever I want. Whether it's like just chatting clips, me playing Valorant, like I want to be able to like.
You want a variety game, huh?
Yeah.
That's a good way to start.
But I feel like I need to grow like an audience before I can do that. So right now it is a lot of like Valorant clips, TikToks, until we get to a point where I can do whatever.
Okay, and what's your favorite game of all time?
Favorite game of all time? Ooh, I think my favorite game that I ever played was probably Halo Reach.
Halo Reach, really? Okay, so that's a major throwback right there.
Games that got me into like online games, right? Because before then it was just a lot of like I played video games, but it was a lot of like platformers, single player games, games that I could play with my dad. It wasn't until I got on Halo that I realized that I could be better at a game than some kid across the country or somewhere else. Get adults to like talk an 11-year-old kid that's better than them at the game.
Yeah.
And then after that I was like, okay, like I'm hooked.
So was that like, you would say that's your favorite game because it was your first multiplayer experience?
Yep, that was
okay.
It was my first multiplayer experience. It's what really like got me into like, I love like gaming,
Yeah, for sure. For me, that was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. So that was my first online multiplayer experience ever, and I was hooked. Like I was playing it all day, every day, no showers. Like I was eating.
I don't think I went out for the summer. Games were out. I was like, nope. Back then there was no content creation. There was no like anything. No. I mean there was, but
there was. But
so it was literally just me sitting in my room playing a game.
That's how it is. Yeah, that's how I started.
I remember back in the day when I used to play and stuff. I really wanted to get into like content creating back in Call of Duty Ghost, and I bought. I don't know if any of you guys know what this is, but the Hapage. Does anyone know what the Hapage is? It was before the Elgato. It was the recording device. It's a big box. It looked like it looked like a PlayStation 1 or some weird like gaming device or whatever, and it was like one of those things where you hook up everything to the back of your console and stuff, and you hook it up to. I hooked it up to my laptop because I didn't have a PC at the time and stuff, and I did a little bit of like just videos of me just playing basically. Wasn't even me talking really. It was just just a whole game of clips and stuff. I had no creativity whatsoever. I mean, that's how I was in school anyways. I had no creativity. That's why you would never see me. I'd be using the same crayon, the same blue crayon for all my drawings, and I would have no creativity using any other crayons. So my creativity growing up was horrible, and then it started getting a little bit better as time went on. But I think it's more of like your creativity widens out a lot more when you have a passion for something, and I didn't really have a passion for school or anything. So with gaming and stuff, I kind of opened my mind.
Do you guys remember if you guys watched like a lot of Call of Duty content creators like back in the day? Like
X-Jaws,
Vanos, KWR Speedy, like those that group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, H2O Delirious, like them playing Black Ops 2 that's when I was like, oh, like there's like more to this. And then that idea was always in like the back of my head, and I always like wanted to like learn how to do it, but like when I was younger, I was like, there's no way, like I don't know how I'm gonna make this work.
Right. No, definitely. I feel like now we have more of a platform, and I feel like more of these platforms are kind of pushing that out more, and more companies are getting involved into this gaming stuff, and they see more out of it than what we thought back in the day.
For sure.
All right, let's get to know Maddie now a little bit. So how long have you been content creating for?
Oof. Content creating in general, or like just Twitch specifically?
It doesn't. In general, I would say.
In general, I started doing YouTube videos and like Facebook videos probably like 12, 13.
12, 13. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You started really young. Okay.
Like I knew I always wanted to do this, honestly. But once I started getting into like high school, and you start to like get in your head, like people start like judging you, and you get like self-conscious.
Yes.
Then I took a break. That's when like Facebook videos like started popping off for a bit, is like right when I took a break. And then I was like, I really want to do YouTube, and I was about to start YouTube, and then 3 years ago I was like, fuck it, let's do Twitch, because it's live, like you don't have to worry about the editing or like tags, all that. I was just like, you just push it and go,
Yeah, no, about the whole high school thing, I completely went through the same stuff. I tried to get into it a little bit when my freshman year of high school, and my teammates used to give me about it because I didn't have that many views and stuff, and I was just starting out. Nobody thinks that you can make it and stuff, and I kind of just got in my head and kind of took a break, and just started doing streaming and stuff because it's a lot easier, and
100%.
So I totally get where you're coming from when it comes to that. What got you into content creating?
I was always kind of like the loner kid. Like I got bullied as a kid, and I just didn't really fit in. I didn't really my family wasn't really the place to like go home and like talk about my day and stuff. So I would just like sit in my room by myself and watch YouTube videos. So I was just always like finding comfort in that, and I wanted to do that for other people too.
So what kind of content do you push out normally?
Right now I'm mainly focused on like just chatting. I've been doing like hosting e-dates. I'm gonna start hosting game shows and podcasts. I'm like really leaning into that. I do really love gaming. I do that every now and then when I'm like really feeling it, but my main thing is kind of like networking and getting groups of people together that have never been around each other before. Like I really love creating like that community aspect on Twitch.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Oh yeah,
it's legit.
So what game do you normally main? Do you main a game?
Honestly, I just kind of like, it's more like a community for me, so I just hop on like whatever my friends are on, but my main game I've been playing recently is Apex.
Apex, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And did you have like a favorite game of all time, growing up?
A game I really, okay. Like a console game I really with growing up was GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, wow.
And then PC game, my first PC game that I was like really heavy into was like RuneScape. So some people call it like OSRS because it's the OG one. So that's like both spectrums that I
back in
really got me into like, yeah.
Gotcha. So back in like Mike's day. Gotcha.
Yo, it's so funny because I used to go to the library every day after school and like pay for sessions on a computer, like, and I'll take other people's sessions like just to play RuneScape for hours. Yeah, like every day after school, like even on the weekends, go to the library, get on the computer, RuneScape. Yeah,
wait, I think that game was like right before us.
Oh yeah, way before. That's like dinosaur ages.
Because I think Maddie and Mike are the same age, so that's.
Are you guys? You guys are 30 also?
Shut up! You're a child. You are literally a child.
Yeah, he does that to me all the time. He does it to me all the time. I'm used to that already.
Oh man! All right.
Yeah, RuneScape is though.
right, we'll get right into it right now. So we're gonna get into this juicy topic right here. So who has the tougher journey in content creating between men and women? So this one, I mean, me and Mike have had this this conversation before in Discord. We've had it multiple times, and I kind of play both sides. Really, I get that. I feel like as a guy and a woman, like we both have different obstacles, completely different obstacles. We have some similar, but I feel like a lot of it is like the mental aspect of what you guys get in your guys' DMs and stuff, and kind of the hate that you get through random people just joining in and stuff and just telling you that, you know, get off this game, like girls shouldn't be playing this game, or, you know, you're an ASMR streamer, get the hell out of here, big streamer, whatever, you know. People judge you for everything under the sun, you know, and as a guy, you know, I feel like our struggles is finding our niche and stuff to kind of stand out, you know, completely different than everybody else. Yeah. And that could be for girls too, but there are, I feel like in some aspects, you know, girls, you know, a guy sees a girl streamer and they're like, oh, you know, it's initially right away attracted to her and want to get her attention and stuff, and may be using Twitch as a dating app, you know, which is not really, it's not a thing. You shouldn't be using Twitch as a dating app, but, you know, they end up, you know, donating, they end up, you know, doing all this stuff to try and get your attention and be loyal and show that they want to be there. You know, some people might be there because they do actually fuck with you, and other people might be there for the wrong reasons. So Mike, we'll start off with you. What is your thoughts on that? Because I kind of went both ways with it.
I feel like it is, in a way, you could say that it is tougher for guys. But I will say that a lot of men don't go as hard with it because they like to make that excuse, like women have it easy, and you're just cute. You only have the game, and a lot of women do this. They put the game on the screen. They know that men are attracted to women that game and that stream, and they throw the game on their screen and aren't really taking it seriously. And there are women out here that that's a whole other obstacle. That's a whole other obstacle that people don't talk about. You know,
yeah,
that's a whole other obstacle that people don't talk about for women that genuinely like to play video games and content create. They have to deal with ASMR streamers, just chatting weirdos that like are just there to make a quick buck and they aren't genuinely like there because they enjoy doing what they're doing. They're trying to get something out of it.
Easy money.
Yeah, exactly. And the people and the women that are actually genuinely trying to make content suffer in a way. Well, the people that let it get to them, the women that let it get to them. So, like, on the male
that last part was so important. I'm sorry, I had to say that. That last part was so important.
So, I think that men on the other side on the under end of the spectrum, I feel like a lot of them, like I said, they make the excuse that it's easier for women, so they don't put in that extra. They make that excuse so they don't have to put in the extra time and the effort to make that content and stuff like that. But I do think it is difficult finding yourself as a content creator. It is more difficult finding yourself as a content creator because it's like they're not just gonna hop in your stream. There's so many streamers on the platform, and ever since Twitch blew up and stuff
9 million
like that,
a month.
Exactly.
9.6 million streamers a month.
Yeah, and it's hard to weave your way through traffic and get people's eyes on you. You have to put in the work on other platforms, or else there's no shot. And it's more likely for a woman to get, you know, viewers and stuff like that, without making content on other platforms than it is for a male. I do feel like that. But in terms of to give you a legitimate answer, to give you a solid answer, it's tough. I would have to say men, even though like there are women, like I said before,
So,
the women.
what do you think about women have an easier time hitting that like 200-300 100 plus viewer mark, but then there's like a glass wall there, you know, whereas like men, once they hit that, they can break through that and do more. I mean, like, what do you think about that?
I feel like, but I was talking about it for the women. I was talking about it from the women's perspective. I feel like for women, like ASMR, just chatting streamers and stuff like that, like the people that get on to make a quick buck, they reach a cap
in front of a camera.
They reach a cap. unless they're making content outside of it, which they're probably not going to, because they're not going to put in that much effort for it. Yeah, exactly. They're content. They're satisfied. They reach a cap at a certain point. They get to like, some of them gets like 60, 70, and they're still making like hella money. Those 50, 60 people throwing money at them. So they're content with that. Some of them get a couple of hundred, but they never get into that quadruple digits, 5-digit stratus like area. Just streaming. And unless you're I'm not sure what Amaranths and other big just chatting streamers. I don't know. I'm not sure how they got to where they are.
Cutebot, people like that.
Because I'm not that up on the just chatting game. But for like new just chatting streamers, that are people that are just like hopping on it just to make a quick buck. The newer ones, like it's like there's no way like there's a cap for that.
No, I agree for that for sure. Maddie, what do you think?
All right, I'm gonna come in hot if that's cool.
That's fine.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, I will admit that as a woman, like hitting that affiliate mark is a lot easier. However, every moment after that is a struggle. Like being taken seriously as a woman, especially on a platform that's being taken. I mean, pretty much every platform is being taken over by men. Like you could argue that probably the only platform that isn't is maybe Instagram. But I would say as a woman, getting the initial views is easy, but establishing a community and building that number over time and being taken seriously as like someone who actually puts in the work, like say for instance, I'm hosting these e-dates. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm planning this. I'm sliding in DMs. If I didn't have the ability to network like I do, I wouldn't be taken seriously, because the only reason I'm getting these opportunities is because I'm establishing relationships with people over time. You know what I mean? I'm taking the time to hop in their chat. I'm taking the time to DM them, check in on them, establish a relationship. Whereas a man, he's taken seriously just because he's a man, and it's like, okay, you have this what's it called? Like a leadership quality, more of a respect as a man. It's like, okay, like he knows what he's doing. He's gonna take control of the situation. He might like hire a woman underneath him, but a man is always on top. So being a woman in a leadership position, so say like I'm a host, like that's not always taken seriously. Like most people don't want to be on my show because they're like, oh, it's hosted by a woman, it's gonna be disorganized. You know what I mean? So I would say, just like Cam said, that glass wall is extremely hard to hit, because as a woman, like I've done like literally every piece of content. Like I've done like classic gaming, just chatting streams. I've done streams where I've had to plan like a week to 2 weeks in advance, like putting together actual events. And then of course I've done the e-girl, like e-thought shit where I'm like dancing on stream, doing whatever. So I've seen the glass wall be hit. It's very hard to surpass that unless you've established relationships and been on the platform for like multiple years. Like there's so many women. I will also say the amount of women that have passed the threshold of, let's say, 10,000 viewers is so much smaller than the amount of men that have passed that threshold.
So
absolutely.
Have you gotten like, let's say like when you host like e-dates and stuff and like these game shows and stuff, have you gotten DMs saying that, or have you heard people say like, hey, this person didn't want to hop on your e-date show because of the fact that you were a woman? Or was it because me personally, like growing up and stuff, even in school, girls are perfectionists. They're very well organized. Yeah. So I don't, that's where like I was like, I don't know, like if they really just don't think it's gonna be organized, because I think girls are very well organized. They have like a whole list. They write shit down. They are perfectionists. So I don't know if that's the case.
No, I have had that exact sentence said to me. I've also had things said to me specifically, not only because I'm a woman, but also because of my skin color, that I'm a certain type of way and that they didn't want to work with me. Because obviously I'm a white woman. So they're like, oh, you're white, you're entitled, you're fatherless, you're a feminist, like just like absolutely outrageous things just because I am the person that I am in an exterior sense, not even like the internal work that I've done. Regardless, if I have a conversation and show how educated I am and show how much work I put in, at the end of the day, they just see a woman and stereotype me. So I've definitely gone through that. Yeah. I wouldn't say it and make shit up if I didn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy. That's actually really surprising. I would have never guessed that. You know, that would be someone's fucking answer for that. And it's funny because, you know, we were going to stereotype, but then the minute that, you know, they look at our skin and we end up stereotyping, then, you know, it's completely flipped around. It's blown up. Like, it's blown out.
It's a whole different story. I've experienced like every fucking stereotyping on Twitch. It's actually insane.
Yeah, I never would have thought, because like obviously as a black man, you get on the internet, like you're getting torched, like, you know,
100%.
but like I had no idea that like you were going through stuff like I had no idea that you would be going through stuff like that. Like that's actually insane to me.
No,
I get that kind of daily.
I offered this one guy he said he was hosting an E-date. It didn't end up being an E-date. It ended up being a one-on-one. I get in call and it's a guy saying those things like, oh, like you're a white woman, like you don't know anything, like I don't even know why I'm in call with you right now. This is ridiculous. I should be in here with at least a woman of color, at least somebody that's respectable. Like it's just blows my goddamn mind. Like you can experience like everything. Like I will say that I don't experience that as often as say like Mike would, but it is something that I've experienced.
Yeah. That's sad too, because a lot of people don't really know what goes on behind closed doors, behind all of us. You know, all of us go through some troubles and stuff, and I mean some of us might know, you know, some of our troubles because we're pretty close to each other, so we'll talk about our struggles and everything. But like a lot of other people, like our viewers and stuff, and other people that, you know, follow us and stuff, don't really know what goes behind closed doors, and they kind of just assume a lot of so it's sad, you know, that people don't have like an open mind about things about that, and, you know, take that into consideration.
No, the other thing too is a lot of people would either DM me or hop in my chat and kind of accuse me of being in the place that I am because I have slept with men that are higher up than I am in the community.
Yeah, see, that's like, another struggle that, you know, women have and stuff, you know. Some of it may be true, but, you know, a lot of times you can't just assume that, you know, right off the bat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
And it discredits people like you know. So
yeah, because I work really hard for my relationships. Like I build them. I network really hard. Like I'm constantly checking in on people, like building new relationships, finding new people. Like literally how I got my start on Twitch and like how I started building my community. I would deadass like scroll to the very bottom of the viewer list on Twitch and then find people that have like 5 viewers and just hop in chat and be like, hey, what's going on, man? Like hang out for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, however the vibes were. Add them on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, keep up with them. You know, just build it like that. Like I worked hard for that. So like, that's why I'm saying this gets me so heated when people are like, oh, you're a woman, you have it easy. Like that initial view is easy, but establishing the community is so hard as a woman.
So I don't know. I think that's one of the parts that I disagree with. Establishing a community.
Fight me. Fight me.
It is. I will.
No.
And it's
in what way? In what way?
It's not even.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm going to. And I just want to say that that's like one of my points, and I'm going to explain why. At end of the day, what I want to intro with this is that I have many, many female content creators that I'm friends with. Maddie's one of them. Claire's one of them. 90% of the people that I play with half the time are women that are other content creators, and like Wavy, you know, Kitty, like, so, and I've heard the horror stories, you know, of like DMs or like going down, and I don't want to discredit like anybody's in that sense. And I think realistically, no matter what, as a content creator, if your content is guy or girl, you're not going to do anything with it. I think that's bottom line. It doesn't matter. So like if you're a guy or girl sitting there and being like, oh, this is hard, like, oh, I'm not growing, oh, I'm not doing this person has it so much easier, but you're not putting work in, you're not putting time in or effort to making good content, you're not going to grow. You're not going to see any success out of that. Part with like people getting weird DMs and shit, and like people being creepy on the internet, I think that's also a both sides thing. Because I mean, I don't know if Wavy or Micah can attest to this, but I've been sent some like weird ass DMs that I don't want to read. You know, I've been sent some shit that I didn't need to see. I've had people talk to me or like assume about me too. But I feel like as a dude growing up like around like that, whether it was like on a game or like real life, whatever, it's always been something that I look at and I don't get affected by it. You know, like I don't let that be like a wall for me where I'm like, okay, this person sent me a picture that I didn't want to see. Oh, it's because I'm an attractive dude, or it's because I'm a dude, so it's a wall for me. It's something that I feel like I just hop over and like I'm not affected by. Now, when it comes to like the community thing with what Maddie had said, I think for females on Twitch, and this is kind of the take that I gave Wavy, is that it is a platform that is mostly men watching, right? I feel like that's like a general like agreement. It's a video game platform, right?
Mhm.
Quote unquote, because there's a lot of like just chatting streamers, hot tip streamers, whatever. I feel like there's more male viewers on this app than there are female viewers on this app. So where I'm going with that is that if I'm a pretty face, like let's say like I tried to do the same thing, right? Like let's say I tried to do like a hot tip stream, or like I did like a stream like that. The audience isn't there for it as much as like if a girl did it, And then I've also noticed that like female viewers in chat versus like a male viewer in another chat, if I'm not giving this girl attention that's in my chat, if I'm not flirting back, if I'm not, putting in like that effort, they don't feel like inclined to stay.
All right, I gotta cut you off real quick, because it's not about viewers, it's about community. Community and viewers are completely different.
No. And that's what I was about to get into, is that if you have like a dude in your chat, right, that's like, he doesn't care whether you flirt back or talk back to him or not, he's gonna throw money at you, he's gonna donate to you, he's gonna gift you subs. And I've seen it, because like there's like the bigger, whatever you want to call them, streamers that are out there, they're not paying it 1 ounce of attention to these dudes that are throwing like hundreds, thousands of dollars at them. They don't care. They're still gonna come back. Whereas like if a girl community member, somebody like came into my and I'm not like, oh my god, let me text you, like let's play, like let's do this, they're not coming back.
All right. Are we good? Can I cut you off now? All right, but okay. So when I'm talking about community,
okay.
I'm talking.
Relax. I'm not.
No.
I'm mad at you.
We've been talking toxic. Like you can handle it. We're good.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at you. I'm just defending myself.
Let's go.
This is what I'm here for. I'm the only woman in call. All right, I gotta defend all my girls. So deadass, building a community, not viewers. I'm talking about community. I'm talking about if I go out right now and I get in a car accident and my face gets fucked up, like that community is still gonna support me regardless. Like regardless, like my exterior completely changes. That community is my like solid community that they're gonna be there for me regardless. That is what's hard building as a woman. Because you can get those easy views by your external looks, your physical looks, because it's like, oh, you're an attractive woman, I'm gonna come hang out, I'm gonna click on you because I like the thumbnail. Having a community that comes regardless what you look like, what you talk about, if your topics change, if you change from just chatting to Apex to whatever, like the community that sticks with you regardless what you're doing, that's what I'm talking about. That's hard to build as a woman.
I would argue that getting those, after you get those initial viewers, all you would need as a woman is like an ounce of substance. So all you gotta do is like start a conversation with a couple of people, and they'll stay.
Okay, what does it take? Okay, what does it take to build a community if you have nobody watching you? What it takes to build a community is people checking out, seeing your. So if it's a difference between community versus viewers, but you have 10 times the amount of people watching you every day, maybe not every single one of them is a diehard community supporter, but you have a lot more to like go off of with that.
Okay, you want me to give you an example? Because I've deadass gone from like around the time that I was partnered, I've deadass gone from like 200 to 500 viewers doing like the e-girl just using like external for views. Played a game the next day, hit like 20-30 views. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference between viewers and community. Building a community that sticks with you regardless. Like all of you men, you can play a game, you can do just chatting, you're gonna hit the same amount of views. And I know that because I've been in every single man's chat and they hit the same, like they hit like a buffer. Like they stay in the same.
So I want to ask Mike on that, because I know that you mainly stream Fortnite, right? Mainly post, stream Fortnite. So if you were to switch up and go play like a different game, how does that affect you?
If I were to switch up and play a different game, because
if we hop on Valorant right now,
I'm tanking. Like I pull my viewers not because I play Fortnite, right?
Right.
It's because I am a very entertaining individual that plays Fortnite, but my viewers, my demographic is they're young, so they don't understand that regardless of what I play, I'm gonna be an entertaining individual. A lot of them don't, but like a good amount of them do, but a lot of them don't. The older ones do.
My shit's affected by that as well. I'm a dude.
Like I said before, like if you're a woman, you get those initial viewers looking good and being pretty. If we run the hypothetical that she ran, if you was getting into a car accident and your face got fucked up, they're out. If you never provided that substance, if you never started those conversations, they're out. If you start those conversations, then they'll come back to check on you. Are you okay? They'll provide sympathy and stuff like that. So I feel like that's definitely an advantage. All you'd have to do is provide a little bit of substance.
I still don't agree with that all you have to do is provide a little substance. Like I completely, like, I think it's so much more than that, because let's say for instance, like Wavy and I are streaming at the exact same time. We have the exact same community. We're talking about the exact same things. I, as a woman, is going to be so much harder for my viewers to take me seriously. Even if I'm providing that substance, if I'm providing that opinion or like whatever it is that I'm talking about, it's so much harder as a woman to be taken seriously, just period. So even if
What
we're
do you think
having
that is?
It's just a stigma that it goes with everything. Like it's something so much beyond like content creation. It starts with the joke of like women in the kitchen type, like women getting paid less. Like it's just a stigma that exists across like the entire board. It's not just a content creation thing. It's just a gender inequality, which is a completely different conversation that we don't need to get into. But it's just something like fully across. I don't think it's something just on Twitch, just on the internet. Like it's just woman versus man. At the end of the day, if there's here's a great example. Probably the first time a man has ever let me roll back. The Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp case. Who was initially like, okay, I'm gonna fuck up myself, sorry. But like
Amber.
I know. Sorry. Dude, my brain just
I'm curious though.
You know what I'm talking about though.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't know if that's a good example.
That's not a good example. I just myself.
Probably the worst example.
That's the worst example. No,
that's.
I just got so triggered and just like
because that was the exact opposite effect.
No, literally. That's what I was trying to say. Like probably the first time that's ever happened. Because usually,
is that the first time shit like that has ever happened, or is that the first time it got publicly outed that it was?
No, like it was. No, yeah, for
and
sure.
Nobody spoke up against it.
But there's also been lots of instances where women haven't been believed. Which is okay. That's a totally different topic. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry, but I'm talking about like women just aren't taken seriously. So in any context, like believing a woman is like so much less than believing a man. That's why there's not many women that do like political type streams because their opinions aren't taken seriously. Whereas like there's many men, like let's say like Hassan is like very popular for doing political streams, but you're not going to see like a female political streamer get as big as Hassan.
I don't think that ever touched on what Micah or I were saying, is that because the initial we were saying is that as a pretty female or as like an attractive female, which Maddie you are, and there's a lot of other females that are like that, hitting that like threshold to get out of like the 2, 3, 10 views to up into like 50s, 60s, or 100s is a lot easier, right? Would you agree with that? You agree with that?
Yeah, if it's a attractive female that's putting in the work, she's very consistent, she's working on her other platforms, yeah, of course.
Okay. So then if that person, that individual that has that threshold, right, is not also establishing a community, right? Versus the other, let's say a dude doing the same thing, putting out content, posting it, but because he's not, and he can be an attractive dude, but because he's not a female, on a platform where it's mostly dudes watching. I think somebody threw the stat in that it's 85% dudes that watch Twitch. Where does he have the room to do the same thing?
Community doesn't have to do with gender. Like you have a female.
What I'm saying
community.
is that it's a lot easier to pull in more people to join a community if you.
So in that case, it would be easier for you to have a male community, and you don't. Right? If there's more guys on Twitch, you would have like a mainly
no,
male
because
community.
the guys want to watch like an attractive like female. They want to see the streamers. They want to see like that.
People come on here for it, to be honest with you.
Okay, so then let me ask Wavy,
what's the most popular category on Twitch right now?
Your viewers, are they mainly male or female?
Mine are mainly male.
I would say mine are. It's changed a little bit over time. It changes. It goes in its waves and stuff. I feel like mine used to be male, and then it went to female for a while, and then now it's like a good mixture now. So they come in and out. So, yeah, I would say a mixture now. Before it was kind of male, and then went just female, and then now it's.
He's a very special case.
So
that story is crazy.
Yeah, no, that's why I wanted to get every opinion, because I know Cam has predominantly female audience, but I know every man is different. So that's why I'm trying to make the point that we have kind of like mixed. Like I have probably like half male, half female. Sometimes it's more male, but I do have a lot of females that pop in chat. So it really just depends like what content you're putting out there. I don't think it's fair to say like men are only going to watch women, because I know men specifically that only watch men on Twitch and like refuse to watch women. So I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, men are only on Twitch to be watching like attractive women. I don't think that's very fair to say at all. Let's say, for instance, okay, so Amaranth is a very large streamer. She's streaming to that male audience, but how you were talking about somebody would rather watch a male play a specific video game. Like, that's why the females that are held very highly on Twitch are mostly like just chatting females. That's what Cam's talking about. But say like building an actual community, like being good at a game, like being good at networking, like building that solid substance is very hard as a woman, like being taken seriously. So if there's a woman playing Warzone and there's a male playing Warzone, it's more likely that the male is going to have more viewers because he's going to be taken more seriously and seen as like better at the game, and probably have better org offers, honestly.
We would have to pull up some stats, because there are women that, you know, hop on, like I mentioned this for a second earlier. There are women that get on the app but don't want to be the just chatting ASMR weirdos, but they hop on and they put on this huge face cam from top of the head to like the thighs. Not all of them
half the screen.
Yeah,
covers half the screen,
and they'll just throw a game on their stream just because. And then males will get on a platform, men will get on a platform and see that and be like, oh, she's a woman that plays video games and she's streaming on Twitch. I'm gonna hop in here. Versus him watching a guy play.
But that's still viewers versus community. Because that's a viewer just watching because it's like, oh, like I like how this attraction looks.
Somebody just made a point in my chat. They said attractiveness helps, but female gamers struggle for viewership regardless of attractiveness, right?
Yes.
And they brought up that they have somebody that looks like a Victoria's Secret model, has 105 people streaming Call of Duty right now. But there's they had gone in and said other women with zero talent or skill beyond talking have hundreds or thousands of viewers. What I'm saying is that if you have 105 people watching, right, and you're not telling them to go watch your newest TikTok, you're not telling them to go watch your YouTube video, you're not telling them to hop into these community custom games, right? If you're not doing all that shit, then yeah, you're not going to see anything. But if you're doing all of those steps, the next time you stream, you're going to have 200 people. After that, 400, 600, 800. You're going to reach that point.
As a woman who has already been at that, as a woman who has already been at those numbers and has tried those tactics, it's not that easy. Like I'm dead ass just going to cut you off right there.
Maybe I'm work like that. Okay, maybe in my head that is how it works because that's how I would approach it. But why doesn't it work there? Because like that does make sense in theory.
Yeah, theoretically, if you think about it and you haven't tried it, you're like, yeah, that would make sense. But as a woman who has hit those like hundreds numbers, it goes back to viewers versus community again.
Okay, somebody might just during that time frame. When
can I finish real quick?
At there, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just let me finish my sentence and I'll throw it right back to you. All right. this goes back to viewers versus community. So I'm building those numbers, but they're just there to watch that kind of like e-girl content, like whatever I was doing, the attractiveness, like the physical like facade of it. That's not transferable to say like, if I was like, okay, I just dropped a new YouTube video or a new TikTok or something, because at the end of the day, that's a view, not a community. They're not going to support my other platforms. They're not going to come back. They're just going to see like, okay, this is a thumbnail on the recommended page and I clicked it.
See, but I feel like that's up to the content creator to build that and take that and run with it. So my question is that when you were at those numbers and when you were doing that, were you still posting on like TikTok? Were you posting on YouTube?
I was posting on TikTok. I was posting on Instagram every day. I was posting pictures and videos on Twitter every day, multiple times a day. That was my highest peak of content. And it still didn't transfer far enough that when I changed my content, that those people stayed as a community.
So you're saying it doesn't matter, even if you have those numbers and you're doing all that?
Yes.
It's not going to bring you anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. My question for Maddie then is like, how would you do it? If you were like, let's say you didn't have to deal with the way that you look, right? Let's say you didn't have to deal with your opinions not being taken seriously because you're a woman. Let's say you didn't have to deal with any of that, right? Like that, just in a hypothetical world, all of that is gone. How would you do it?
How would I grow as a woman?
No.
Sorry.
Let's put you in the shoes of a dude, you know?
Okay.
So you have nothing to worry about when it comes to the shit that you have to worry about as a woman. How are you going to do it?
Oh, I think I could easily do it. Okay, you're going to be so pissed. I think I could take the same tactics and work just as hard and do it as a man. But I think my problem as a female is that I'm not taken seriously. I need to either have like a male manager or like an org like that's ran by a man, or just probably like male teammates in general to be taken seriously. I think that's probably like the only thing I'm missing as a woman is like just like that male substance backing me to get like a little bit more respect.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like, and I'm just gonna ask, like, are you saying that the only thing stopping you from launching into the stratosphere is being taken seriously as a content creator and a streamer? You're saying that you can't do it?
Like, are you saying I can't do it right now?
No, that's what I'm asking. That's what it sounds like you're saying. Like you can't do it without like, because of the fact that you aren't taken seriously.
Yeah, like I mean, okay, I could do it by myself, but it's going to take a lot longer to hit the numbers that I want to hit. That's why I'm grinding the out by myself so that I can be taken seriously, be taken up by an org or a manager, build that up, and then take what I'm already working hard at and then continue to have that built and backed up, because you have that support by like a manager or an org or something, and then they help you reach out and get connections. That's something that like a man can do, but I'm saying it's so much harder as a woman to reach out and be taken seriously as like, hey, I put this together. Would you like to be a part of this?
I feel like because the gaming Twitch industry has been so male dominant for the past however many years, is that as of like recently, it's getting a lot easier for female content creators to join those things, you know?
Because it's such a rarity.
Like pro teams or organizations, because they need that diversity. And I don't want to say that it's just because of the diversity, because there's some amazing female content creators, yourself included, that have a lot to bring to the table. But I think for that reason, that I don't know that there's necessarily like a difference there, because there's already so many dudes that are professional gamers, so many dudes that are already in like an organization or something, so that now we're taking a turn to throw more women into the same seat.
Even if like a woman, let's say, is like picked up by a manager or joins an org, 90% of the time she doesn't get the same amount of benefits as a man would. Or if she does join and she gets a similar amount of benefits, she's not respected in the same way.
I feel like...
And I'm just saying that because I haven't experienced that, because I've never joined an org. It wasn't like something I was interested in until recently. But I have many group chats that I built of women where they talk about their orgs and things that they've gone through that are specifically like to their gender. Like it's actually insane. I'm not going to leak any shit, but it's actually ridiculous.
I feel like it's such a rarity for like it's easy now to find a female streamer, a pretty female streamer that plays video games. Because there are a few of them now because they see that it can be lucrative. Um,
Hmm.
but I feel like if we're not talking about growing an audience and we're talking about getting picked up by organizations and stuff like that, I feel like it will be extremely attractive to an organization if not only because it's so rare, not only are you pretty and attractive as a streamer, you are also opinionated and you're not afraid to step outside your box and be and like what I'm saying, speak out
Speak your
on
mind.
like, speak your
Hmm.
mind and genuinely try to create content. Oh, you're pretty
Man,
and you're genuinely making content.
if
I'm signing you right
only
now.
if only managers and orgs actually thought like you do. They really don't though. Like
I
there
would.
are there's so many like smaller offers that are offered to women. Like my male friends, if they were to expose like their DMs, because I've had these conversations before, where they've literally been like, "Hey, I literally got like 10 org offers this week." Whereas my female friends are like, in my entire like 3 to 5 years of being on Twitch, I've maybe got 2 to 3 org offers,
See, now I can
like
speak.
total.
I,
Personally,
I can speak on this actually because I'm a recruiter for Team Diverge. Now I have reached out to many women about this, and this has been my job with recruiting women and stuff. And a lot of the responses that I've gotten back to some of these people is that they're a little nervous joining organizations and stuff because maybe it is because maybe they don't get a lot of offers, and maybe it's all new to them, and maybe they're a little like nervous about joining an org and like how it's gonna be structured and stuff. And I get it, but like I do reach out to a lot of women and stuff. And like I said, I can't speak for all organizations and stuff, but I know for our organization, for Teen Diverge and stuff, I've reached out to many content creators, and they choose that they feel like they want to do it on their own, or they don't want to take the leap and take the risk of hopping into an organization because they don't know how it's going to be, which I don't know. Like I said, I don't know their thought process on that and stuff, but I have reached out.
we did have that conversation for the longest
Yeah.
that one night. Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of female content creators are and males too. I felt like that before as well. As a content creator, like not content, but like scared to like step outside of my box and try new things because I'd never been in an organization. But for women, I feel like like they're so content with what they're doing. A lot of them are so content with what they're doing that it's like
They don't want to switch it up. They don't want to
they don't
innovate.
want to switch it up. They don't want to innovate. And because they feel like it'll affect something, or like I'm already making enough money now. Men are already throwing money at me anyway, so I don't want to do that. So like I feel like I would say that it's pretty rare for a woman to want to be in an organization in the first place.
Well, there's a reason for that. It's the same shit that I'm talking about, where like my female friends have been taken advantage of from the orgs they have been in. Like I have one friend that she joined an org. They used her to make content. She worked her off harder than she's ever worked before, and got scammed out of thousands of dollars.
Ouch.
Wow.
Yeah, like it goes deep, and even deeper than that. Then I'm like, there's some things that have like, okay, I'm just gonna use the word trauma. With women being on orgs and like being invited into content houses or just like asked to do videos and end up being in uncomfortable situations. There's lots of reasons why females feel uncomfortable joining orgs. It's just like there's many reasons why women are like, okay, I don't know how I feel about doing this. Like I don't want to be taken advantage of. But at the end of the day, like, okay, me as a female, like I honestly haven't gotten that many org offers. And especially also like the thing that, okay, this is the thing that kind of triggers me too. So people say like, okay, you use your physical appearance, you do like titty streamer, like ethot type. Being taken seriously for an org to pick you up, if you're doing that, like you might hit a good amount of viewers. Like say I was doing that and I hit like 300 to 500 viewers. Yeah, the view count is there, but an org to take me seriously,
It's not exactly what we're looking
they're
for.
like, yeah. They don't want that type of content. They don't want to promote that type of content.
Yeah.
So the views might be there, but having that established community and having something respectable, like for an org, respectable. I'm not saying like it's not something to respect, but in their eyes, they don't see it as something respectable. Then they're not going to promote that and like ask somebody like that to be on their team.
See, the thing is though, is that it's hard to promote that to other companies when you have sponsorships and stuff, because now you got sponsorships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's some things that I agree with that like women have it easier. Like it might be easier to hit a certain number of views doing a certain type of content and being physically attractive, but being taken seriously and like, yeah, you hit the views, but maybe that takes down like your sponsorship opportunities, your org opportunities, your networking opportunities. And then maybe you do like just gaming content and like you're taken more seriously, but there's less offers and less viewers. Like it's a balance. Whereas men, I feel like you put the work in, the org offers are there. Like it kind of is like more equal with men than it is with women. It's a different balance.
But you also got to see that it is saturated. You did say that this is predominantly more men, I guess you could say. So
Yes.
it's saturated. Like you can't do the same thing that Joe Schmo's doing over here, putting up his clip, his 30-second clip of him squad wiping that's been seen by 50 million people that have been doing the same thing. You have to find your niche. So in that aspect, with you like coming down to like basically playing video games like us and stuff, you're at the same level pretty much as how I see it, and that you're trying to find your niche to try and stand out in some way, like just like us. Because
I would say that it's more.
Yeah, I would agree that like as a female, just like a male, like let's say for instance, we're both playing Valorant, we both hit an ace, we both post something on TikTok. I would say in my experience from seeing my female friends post stuff like that versus why are you giving me that look? Where is this going?
I'm waiting for it.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
Okay. Yeah, males get like troll comments, but a woman's comments on the video are always denying the fact that she did that. It's always like, oh, somebody else is holding the controller, like this is a troll, like you didn't do this, like you're just a dumb e-girl. Like it's the reactions are different.
Like I thought you were going this way with this. In terms of growth, I feel like I've seen so many TikTok profiles like of women that play video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one before, I'm not gonna say no names, millions on top of hundreds of thousands on top of like, and she put up a 3-minute clip. She's playing Warzone, a 3-minute clip. She killed 3 people, got a squad wipe, and she took like the rest of the 2.5 minutes. It had 4 kills in it. Wasn't really that impressive, but it got over 1 million views.
Yeah.
And she didn't say a word in the clip. There is no like personality substance in that clip whatsoever. And if a male does that, there's no that's not getting any traction.
Nope.
That's not getting any traction.
Okay, that's where I also thought that was gonna go, is that when it comes to like posting clips like that, right? I've probably watched 1 million squad wipes on TikTok. I've seen 1 million trick shots on COD. I've seen 1 million build battles in Fortnite on all social media. I've seen ace it. Like it. I don't think that necessarily matters if you're a guy or girl posting shit like that. Because if you want to watch somebody get an ace, squad wipe, drop 50, 60 kills, you're going to go watch a professional Valorant player. You're going to go watch a professional Fortnite streamer. You're going to go watch something like that.
No, 100%.
So, like, for example, clip that I posted the other day, I got an ace in that clip, but that's not why the clip did well.
Yes.
Right?
I was just about to bring that up.
I understand that. Yeah.
Is that it's not, you have to add content to it.
Exactly.
Because just like Micah was saying, if I went and posted an ace clip with no content, no words, nothing, nobody's gonna like that shit. Everybody's gonna look at that, swipe past it because they've seen it 1 million times, whether you're a dude or a girl.
So okay, let me ask you this real quick, Cam, because I want your opinion on this. Okay, so you know the TikTok that we're talking about, where like
Or I get called daddy for a minute straight. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's say, for instance, okay, you did that ace play, and then you had the female content in the background. What do you think would do better? That specific TikTok, or me showing my face as an attractive woman, making the same exact plays but no talking in the background? Maybe some comms in between, but I'm like making the same ace play, but it's just me as
and
a
that's
woman.
what I was just saying, is that's not what the clip was, though. The clip wasn't just an ace.
I know, no.
So
I'm not
talking.
No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing like male versus female. I'm talking about you posted that TikTok as a male who hit an ace, and you have content in the background, right?
Right.
And then I'm talking about compare that to I post a TikTok like what Wavy and Mike were talking about. It's a woman that makes a play. I hit an ace, but it's just me as a woman playing the video game What do you think would do better as a video?
Okay, but I want to answer that, but at the same time, I want to like flip that and have you answer your own question. What do you think made that clip do well? The fact that I'm a dude, or the fact that there's 3 or 4 women?
It's definitely the content. It's definitely what was said.
What is the content?
That's
oh my god.
No, I want you to say it because it's important, right? I could have honestly, I could have thrown a Minecraft clip over that.
Yeah.
And found a way for that to work. The only thing that made that content was that there was 3 or 4 women in a call saying daddy. You're asking me what would do better, is a clip of me getting an ace or a clip of you getting an ace?
No.
And so
I'm saying okay, hold on, because I want to go back through this real quick. A male providing content, like actually like individual unique content, like what Wavy was talking about, like something that makes you stand out from the rest of the male audience, right? So content was created. Yes, it was created with women. We could go specifically with that if you want to. Versus a woman just existing, quote unquote, like no content provided, like the clip that Mike was talking about, where it was just a woman making a play in COD. What do you think would do better? Like the man using the unique content to his advantage, or do you think a woman just existing and being attractive?
100% what I posted. 100%.
Okay.
But once again, what is that me as a dude making that content, or is it 3 women?
Is she I think she's scratching. I think she's I feel like the content, the clip that she used for the example kind of backfired because they're both there for the same reason. There are women in the clip.
But there's not women on the webcam. You can hear what we're saying, and there's captions.
I use photos.
But nobody is looking at the photos. They're hearing the content.
Either way, they find that attractive. They hear voices. They hear women's voices, and they're gonna want to hear that more. They're gonna want to hop in and see that and hear that, regardless, like whether like the girl's getting a squad wipe or they're hopping into a guy's stream. They hear women's voices. They're attracted. The man is sexually attracted to the women being in the clip.
Nearly 5,000 people saved that video. Do you think they saved it, liked it because it's my face up there and me getting an ace, or is it?
This is the point I'm trying to make real quick. This is the point I'm trying to make. At the end of the day, you put in the work to establish relationships. You created a network with these women that you were playing with. You worked really hard and you were able to be better at the game. You were able to get the ace. It's a combination of you being able to network, provide content, be good at the game, be good at editing. All of that created a good video. You put in the work for that. That's what I'm saying. That at the end of the day will always overpower just an attractive woman existing.
Let's get into let's get into like the details of that though, because first of all, in order to do that, in order to make a clip, not the clip with the females in it necessarily, to make unique content, first of all, you have to come up with the idea. Me personally, I have spent, like, to grow my audience, I've spent hours in my room walking back and forth by myself. I have notepads, sticky notes all over my room. I've put in a whole lot of work in terms of creativity and learning my editing software, and I've spent days learning my editing software, hundreds of YouTube videos, coming up with the idea, come up with it, execute the idea, editing it properly in order to thinking about just all the stuff that goes into making that clip. Making that clip what it is before you post it on TikTok versus like, because a woman can just like to put that ace clip up and go viral. You can put that in a like one of those like softwares or one of those websites. I know there's a website like you throw that shit on like and let that format it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
download the clip from TikTok. Like, oh my god, I got an ace. Download that shit from TikTok. Download that shit from Twitch. Throw it into the website and then take that, put it on TikTok. That's not, and like, I preach this all the time. Like, there's no shot. I tell people all the time, like, there's no way you're gonna grow on Twitch just streaming on Twitch and just putting up mediocre ass, like, not necessarily mediocre because it takes skill to do that stuff, but you have to be playing the game for a long time. You just have to, like, all you have to do is, like, sit up and play the game and, like, like, put in the effort to get better at it. But like in my opinion, it takes a lot more effort to come up with that creative content and be creative in that way.
Yep.
In
Which
the
I
way
mean,
that Nail did.
that's
So
something that I've talked to Wavy about too. Is that like cause I don't know how many clips him and I have like done together or like we're involved in.
Quite a
When
bit.
we get into that like headspace, or like at least for me anyways, when I'm streaming, okay, unless in the off chance that I'm like really focused and I want to play like a ranked game, and that's what that stream is about. When I'm around with other content creators or friends, I switch modes to like we're making content out of this. So we're gonna bounce off of ideas, each other, comments that we make or whatever it is, and then taking that and applying it, which is something that I don't think everybody necessarily will do. They're just gonna turn on a camera, stream, and sit in front of a game, right? They're not actively doing anything in the moment to use it for later.
No, I agree. Like I said, when I started off this stream or starting off this topic, I think we both have our obstacles that we have to face and everything. And I feel like it's all based off, for women and stuff, it's all based off of how they structure their streams and stuff, and their content that they're putting out and stuff is the type of viewers that you're going to try and pull in and you're going to get. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to decide. What I mean. Like I said, we both go through our own struggles and stuff. And as a guy, we're gonna feel like we're biased because we're gonna feel like it's harder for us. A girl's gonna feel like she's biased because she feels like she's gone through that because we don't know what they go through on a daily basis. 100%. We only know what we go through on our daily basis. So
exactly.
That's my
why
take
I won't
on
ever
that.
deny like a man's struggles. Like y'all do be going through some. But at the end of the day, I know what's in my DMs. I know how people have talked to me. I know the situations that I've been in, so I can only speak on those.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can only compare to like my male counterparts. Like I can only compare to like y'all guys in call, like people that have like shown me their DMs or like things that they've been through. That's all that I have. Like I'm only gonna speak on what I'm educated on at the end of the day.
That makes sense, of course. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next topic here, which is gonna be, are games as good as they used to be? So this might not be as juicy as the last topic, but we're gonna try and settle down a little bit more, and this we might have more of an agreement here.
Make it juicy because I've had a pretty viral clip actually. Like it went viral on almost every platform, to be honest with every platform I put it on, and yeah, Reddit went crazy on that. And I was basically saying that due to the rise of Twitch and content creation,
exactly where you're going with this.
Due to the rise of Twitch and content creation, like we want to talk about the big dogs, the
Nick Merckx, the Timmy's,
the pioneers, the pioneers. They were doing this. They've been doing this before they even knew it could be a career. Before they knew it could, they had no idea they could take it where they did, and they did. It exploded, and they sat up on Twitch. All they did was, well, I can't say that's all they did. They competed. They went hard with the gaming, and not so much on the content creation. They went crazy on the gaming. They played in tournaments. They traveled around. They went hard. They were people who were watching them because they were good at the game, right? So once they hopped on Twitch, they were the first people on Twitch. They were the first couple of guys on Twitch. They were the first people doing, like, playing Fortnite on Twitch. They were the first people doing that stuff, and they blew up with the game and with Twitch. So now that they did that, and people are the millions of people that watch them do that, they see that and they think that I can do that too. Now people are playing video games to get something out of it instead of having fun.
Yes.
Now everybody, like, the example I always give is because I'm so mad about it is Knockout City. Knockout City is my. I love Knockout City. That game was so fire.
That game did well because I had a ton of fun with it too.
It's such
that was
a
the dodgeball one,
concept.
yeah. That was the dodgeball one. Yep.
Yes. That's an example, and there's so many video games that have done this. They flopped so hard, not because they're bad games, because everybody wants to play the big 3 BRs.
Yep.
Because because the bigger streamers are playing that shit, and that's what's popular. They want to play what's popular and not what's fun. So there are people that are on this platform playing video games and streaming that that are playing that are playing 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, trying to get something out of it instead of having fun. They're sitting there miserable as hell, miserable as fuck, with their 5 to 10 viewers at the bottom of the barrel, and they think that they can do what they did. And you can't do that shit. You can't do it the same way. You got to put in the work. You got to do the shit that I'm doing and that other content creators are doing. Yes, you have to be different, and you got to put out content on other platforms in order to
okay, but Mikey, you take advantage of that, don't you? In it being a game that pisses you off, because I can't tell you how many clips of Micah I've seen where this man looks at the camera and goes, "Is this your game?" Like,
yeah, that's how I popped off. Yeah,
I got one thing to say. Epic Games, is this your game?
But I do love Fortnite, and I do love, like, not only playing the game, but I love, like, making fun of it at, when shit goes wrong. Like, I love making fun of it when shit goes wrong.
So, be honest, do you enjoy it as much as when you started content? Do you still love it? Do you still think it's a fun game? Or have there been times where it's kind of almost like plateaued out for you? And you're like, I'm only doing this I'm only playing this game because this is the content that I know how to make that's going to do well.
I wouldn't say I enjoy it as much as I did back in the day. Because I had so many people to play, because people, like, they withered away. Like, the audience is withered away because of the fact the skill gap and stuff like that. That's a whole different conversation. Like how difficult Fortnite is and like why people ran away from the game. But I think from that aspect, I'm not having as much fun because I don't have the homies that I used to play with. Like nothing will beat like the OG squad days of Fortnite. Nothing will beat that. But I am enjoying. Yeah, but I am enjoying like entertaining people and playing the game and having all that stupid stuff happen to me, and like giving my reaction and doing all this other stuff, and entertaining my community at the same time. I have a passion for entertainment, not only gaming but entertainment. So I'm having a blast. Not just, that's only half the battle. Playing the game is only half of it. Me entertaining is a whole different love. So where I was going with that is that when people say gaming doesn't hit the same, it's your fault. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Basically, it's your fault. It's your fault, and the other millions of people that are on this game, that are on this platform, that are on Twitch, trying to get something out of it, playing all the big 3 BRs, playing that they don't want to play. I know, bro. I see so many Warzone streams. I know y'all upset playing that game. I won that.
Yep.
And I play my first match in. As soon as I get knocked for the first time, I don't want to play that no more. When you start playing that game, radios on it, or I'm playing with some of the homies. The first time I get fucking knocked, I'm already mad. So like, there's no way you're playing that for hours on end, and you're not fucking miserable.
And you're enjoying it. Yep.
There's no way.
I have 70 days spent on that.
You're trying to. Days. That's insane.
I mean, I love breaking my legs every time.
You're trying to milk that, bro. Like, all you're doing, like playing Warzone, is trying to milk that for content, bro. And that's
I feel like
not happening for you.
That goes into it too. I feel like everything that has been done in these games has already been done.
It's already been done. You have to be super. You have to think extremely. Like, you have to not only step outside the box. You got to go 3 miles to find something. After you step out the box to find something to make content on. Yeah. You have to be super creative. You have to be super original. And people don't understand that. Like, all the people that are doing it and trying to get something out of it because of the pioneers, they're not understanding that. And they think that, oh my God, video games suck. Yeah, video games suck. It's only Warzone and Fortnite and Valorant to play and Apex. No, there are video games out there. Video games come out every other week. Great video games. You're not trying anything. I remember back in the day when my PS2, PS3, my PS2 collection, I don't know about y'all, but my PlayStation 2 collection stacked to the ceiling. It could touch the ceiling.
Yep. And boxes and boxes.
And I had the fucking, like, those CD cases you could open up.
Yep.
And like you flip. Oh my God. Like, my collection was insane. I was just sit there like, and I didn't play my first online multiplayer video game until PlayStation 3. So like, I was sitting there by myself in the crib for days, gaming single player games. I loved video games. And you can still do that now, but people are just, like, they see that it can be a career now, and they're just trying to pull something out of it. They're trying to milk it, and it's just not, like, you can't blame that on video game developers and stuff like that. People are still coming out with good, for example, Knockout City. You gotta go out and try different. You're scared, you're not playing different games because you're scared that you won't be able to make content on these other games. That's why you're not playing other games. It's not that video games don't hit the same. You don't want to play other games. That's what it is.
I totally agree with Mike. The question was like, are video games like not as good as they used to be, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say I think there are great games coming out. I think the huge issue with in our modern age now that we have streaming is when a game comes out, it's a lot more judged on a larger platform than like it used to when you were just like playing your console at home, right? Like, because there would be times where you would be playing a game for like a week straight and you would have your own opinion of it, but you weren't really like influenced by somebody else. Whereas like nowadays, a game drops and there's instantly back to back to back opinions on it. And it can either die instantly or it can blow up, depending on like whoever they worked with to build it up. Like, let's say, I think like Tim the Tatman was like a early invitation to Fortnite. If he would have hated that game, maybe it wouldn't have done as well. But he really with it and it did well. So it really just, I think streaming in general highly affects like how people think about video games right now. Because like Mike was saying, there's so many good games that come out, but they either die or like don't get like more evolution. Yeah, they don't get the traction. There's not like a second release of it because people don't fuck with it because it's not like it's not a BR game. It's not like what it's popular. It's not what everybody else is playing. So I think like there's still good games that come out, but say like me, like there's some days that I just like, damn, like I just want to like play RuneScape. You know what I mean? Like I just want to like throw it back because like there's also like solid communities within that because it's just a good solid game. Like people just fuck with it even though it's old. So I don't think it has to do with like whether a game is actually good or not. I think it's just the opinion is highly influenced by who's promoting it at the time and what they personally think about it.
Yep. I think the industry, when it comes to like streamers and content creators, did heavily like influence where games are at like right now too. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
If you look at it, when these companies, Warzone, Apex, whoever, they don't really care about the community is kind of what it feels like. And that is one thing that I think, aside from like whatever is like making you decide you don't like a game, I think that has an influence on it, is that like there's been so much done to games like Warzone, Apex, whatever, that like nobody asked for, nobody wanted. The only people that were asking for like that were like the top people. And then it affects, you know, the people that don't even stream, right? Like I know people that don't even stream or create content that dislike playing these games, you know, and it's not like they're forcing that, or they're not forcing themselves to try to make content out of it. They're trying to enjoy it, but I feel like it's less enjoyable because of.
You think they're doing too much, basically?
Yeah.
Compared to like back in the day with like,
not enough.
Oh, not enough.
Sometimes too much and sometimes not enough.
Okay, I can see that at times, depending on from game to game and stuff. Because I know if you go back to like, you know, I'm a big Call of Duty person, so if you go back to like Call of Duty, you know, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2 and stuff, you didn't see a lot of these, you know, these big changes that they would make to like games and stuff, except for the fact maybe like DLCs that would come every,
like
you know.
Microtransactions and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like now they're changing it drastically, and then people are having to like keep up with the metas and stuff, and are just like, I don't know, they're just constantly getting frustrated with you know, video games in general, and I think bringing it back to the simplicity of games and stuff and keeping it simple, you know, is what people want.
I feel like the era of updates and microtransactions kind of f***ed over.
A lot of games.
A lot of people's gaming experience. I feel like
seems like pay to win.
Back in the day, yeah.
Exactly. I was just about to touch on that. Yeah.
Back in the day, we talk Warzone. You know, I'm mad at, you know how livid I get about Warzone, but.
We all do, baby.
Back in the day, right? Like you couldn't do that. Like you couldn't whine and about something in a game and then get it changed. You couldn't do that. Like when I'm on PS2, like you just had to kind of live with it. There's a bug in the game, you just had to like kind of live with it. And I still enjoyed the game over that bug. You know,
nowadays somebody tweets about it, it goes viral, and then it's instantly changed within the next week.
Yeah, we're spoiled in that aspect. So. Video game developers are seeing that, and they're constantly making updates and stuff like that, and they're changing to try to stay in the spotlight. And I feel like their need to do that, and the fact that they're doing it so much is kind of taken away from the experience in a way. In terms of Warzone, Like, and there are video game developers that are just doing like milking the fuck out of like updates and stuff like that for
Yeah,
like using updates in order to make money.
absolutely.
And not so much
And we can all tell
catering
too.
to
Like you can
exactly
Oh,
tell when
absolutely.
that's how
evident.
it's
Like there's
getting, you know?
so many instances where like you can tell that they just did it. Like the casual player won't realize it, but
Mhm.
like as somebody that's like if it's your job and you're doing it for like trying to make a career out of it, like and you're doing it and
Mhm.
you're playing the game every single day and you're keeping up with all the updates, you notice like that. The fact that um a new $60 Call of Duty comes out, and all of a sudden, all the guns for that game are what everybody is using, and those are the builds that are in the shop, and those are all the guns with no recoil, and those are all the guns that zap motherfuckers in 0.5
Yep.
seconds. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Until it gets to a point where the bigger people are complaining about it, then they go and
Exactly.
make a change.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like how many
So,
times did Warzone gun meta and I think Warzone is like the best example to use of this because like
Absolutely.
it was the big I mean it still is one of the biggest games, but at the time it was the biggest game, right?
Yeah.
And there would be broken for months.
and they would
They
leave it.
waited. They would leave it. They waited until, bigger streamers, content creators got their use out of it, dropped, record-breaking kills, made all the videos, and then by this point, it's already been a problem. It's already been an issue. But until that stops, they don't make a change.
Mm. And because of the fact that they're doing all of this with this specific gun, that's when
Mhm.
all the people that are watching them play the game, the millions of people that are watching them play the game, they run to that specific game to level that gun up.
Mhm.
And in most cases, you would have to pay. In every case, you got to pay $60 to play that, $65 to play that game.
Mhm. Yep.
Or like if you want to take somewhat of a shortcut, you can buy the build in the shop and then level it up a little bit to get the rest of the attachments that you need for it.
That you need.
So with that, that's kind of the aspect and the part of like Warzone updates that kind of get me upset because it's like I have Vanguard. I bought it because of the Call of Duty hype and all the homies was on it, and I wanted to play the new Call of Duty with the homies. You get the new Call every year. You get the new Call of Duty. You play it with the homies. It dies out in 3 months. That's the same cycle.
Yeah.
If a gun gets busted, if I hop on a Rebirth and I'm getting zapped, and in every kill cam I see a Vanguard gun,
Mhm.
I don't want to go on Vanguard when nobody is playing it anymore to grind out attachments for that weapon. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it, and it's like they're forcing us to. I don't want to do that.
It's a money scheme. It's all about money.
Exactly, and for the people that don't have the game, they're more tempted to buy it so that they can level those guns up.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty and the developers behind Call of Duty know what they're doing with that.
Mhm.
In that aspect. So I mean, in that sense, like that's kind of up video games too.
Yep. Because
but-
the first topic that you would like touch on is like no video games are so good. It's just like how you do them, right? Like if I really want to, like I can hop on and make content on like any game.
Exactly.
Right? But at the same time, that while that's true, I still think that the direction that companies has taken video games has made it less enjoyable to do so or like harder to do so,
Mhm.
So I don't know. My end like 2 cents on it is that like yes, video games are at like an area where like they suck right now, but at the same time like I'm still gonna hop on, I'm still gonna play them because I still enjoy them and I can still make content out of it regardless.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you did want to keep playing the big 3 BRs and stuff like that everybody else is playing, because you want to play the popular games, people are saying that they're not having fun on those. If you're not playing, you can still have fun on those games.
Mhm.
It's the way that you're going about it. If you're just playing it to get something out of it, you're trying to play to be the best. You can't. There's so many people. There are millions of people playing this game now. There are millions of people playing these
dropping
big 3
30,
BRs now.
40, 50 kills. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you're not. At some point, you have to accept the fact that you're not gonna get up there. There's no way that you're not getting up there. So like, why are you sitting here making yourself miserable, streaming 12 hours a day, trying to be the best when you could be having fun? Back in the day on Fortnite, we use Fortnite for an example, and it's one of the best examples. Back in the day on Fortnite, when you used to squad up with the boys, Chapter 1, Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are so many, like all the content creators were having so much fun on the game because they weren't trying. Obviously, there's some aspect of, there's some sense of
Them being good at the
competitiveness.
game.
They want to
Yeah.
they want to win the game, but they are having fun while doing so. They're doing things that make it fun. They're riding down ramps on shopping carts from max height. They're doing like rocket ride, no scope, 360 YY. Like they're doing all types of crazy, stupid. You don't see that anymore. You hop on Fortnite, watch somebody play Fortnite now. You spectate a match. Everybody, well, not now because they changed up the guns and like the loophole a little bit, but with the rise of competitive and stuff like that, with Booga won the world, especially after Booga won that World Cup in 2019, everybody is running around with TTV and YT in their name, and they're trying to make a name for themselves.
TTV
And
kids.
they're all doing edit courses, 200 pump. They're all trying to go for a clip. They're all trying to drop 10 to 20 bombs, and they're all trying to be the best. Nobody is running around like doing
Having
fun
fun with-
shit. Nobody's. It's so much
Yeah.
stupid, and if you look at the game, there's still all types of stupid, dumb in the game, like there was back in the day.
Nobody uses it.
Nobody uses that. Like in Chapter 2, you would spectate anybody. Pump, sub, AR, heals. Pump, sub, AR, heals. Nobody's carrying anything else. Nobody's like, it's all it's super competitive and sweaty. Nobody's trying to have fun. Everybody's trying to be the best. And that's what the problem is with like gaming now. So gaming, it's not that gaming is not the same anymore. It's that everybody's trying to be something and make something out of it. And when you could be having fun.
Yeah.
I totally agree with everything Mike said. I will also say that a huge thing that wasn't touched on is the fact that, okay, just exactly like what he was saying, everybody gets like really competitive and like hops on this. I think that's why there's been so much more attention on like battle royale games, is because there's that huge competitive aspect. There's the ability to make like competitions, there's the ability to make like people go to LAN, like people like watch all of these, like that's very popularized. People build orgs based on that, like competitive gaming. So I think that steals all of the attention from games that aren't as competitive. Like let's say like Valheim dropped. Not a competitive game. It's more of like a survival game. Very good game, but it didn't get as much as like a BR would, specifically because of like the competitive aspect. So I think like we don't get as many drops of games or like as many updates or like just new things in general with games outside of those competitive categories, which is really unfortunate for people like me that like I'm not a competitive gamer. I don't really with that. Like I play BRs because I like to play with my friends and I like the banter, I like the toxicity, like I like to just hop in it. I'm not competitive at all. I've never been that person with anything, sports, games, whatever. So I think like people like me lose out on games in that aspect because these companies are like, okay, like all these streamers, all these orgs, like all these big companies that want to like promote or sponsor are going towards the competitive games because that's what people are watching. So there's a lot less attention on games outside of that category, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I agree. A question that some of my viewers wanted to know was, what game really got you into streaming? What was that one game that really got you into streaming?
Got me into streaming?
Yeah, it got you into streaming.
It was Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare is the one. Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Mike? Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah. We all into that. Fortnite. What about you, Maddie?
PUBG.
PUBG.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I don't think I've ever ran into someone that actually played PUBG.
What? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really. Yeah,
and the pioneers were playing PUBG and like what was the other game?
H1Z1.
H1Z1, yeah.
Yeah.
PUBG and H1Z1. That's what the pioneers started on. And when
Ninja
Fortnite came out,
that's what like
got
Symphony started on, right?
Yeah.
Like H1Z1 PUBG.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
Yeah.
When transfer over.
That's when Fortnite realized. That's when people realized, like, yo, Battle Royale is pretty cool. Fortnite came out, that popped off, and now everybody wants to make a Battle Royale now. And it's so funny because a lot of shooters
in that
too.
Do you think you're still in that like meta of Battle Royale games? Because they've been a thing for what? 7
we're
years
definitely
now?
still in it.
Like, think so?
We're definitely still in it. I see game developers trying, like that Rumbleverse game that just came out. People are still trying. That's a very interesting take on a Battle Royale. I don't think I would ever touch it because it doesn't look interesting to me. But maybe I will. Who knows? But there have been a lot of
one or the vampire one.
No, that's it just came out like 2 days ago. It's that's Blood Hunt. It's like a wrestling battle royale. Like you would run around as a wrestler, and like you would body slam people off of buildings and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool concept, but like cool. It doesn't look interesting to me gameplay wise. It doesn't look like it has that much, like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's my cup of tea. But it is an interesting, like when explaining it is an interesting concept, and I see what they were trying to do. Like they're trying to put a different spin on battle royales. But speaking on like the battle royale meta, video games, like there have been other shooters. It's surprising, it's not surprising, but it's sad to see. Like it's a shame to see like other shooters, like that have been big in the game for a long time, specifically Halo, that have suffered because they decided not to go with it. They're like, like
they did their own thing.
Their company's big enough. They think that like their game was gonna pop off because of the name.
They thought they were good. Like they underestimated the power of
battle royales,
the battle royale meta, which is crazy because battle royales have been out for so long, and it's been a huge thing in gaming for the longest, like to that point where Halo came out. And I was saying before Halo came out, they better make a BR, and that would be such an interesting. That would be such.
No, for real.
Hey, you know what?
Well, because I mean, they even stepped away from like Halo games, right? And they, like you were saying, they went like a completely different direction with what did they put out? Destiny. I mean, that's still like a big, like there's a whole community behind like that type of.
That was a real good game too. Yeah.
So like it worked for them, but just not in the same sense like where it's talked about like Warzone, Apex, Valorant, Fortnite.
Hey Mike, didn't we have a conversation about this, that I told you that Halo was gonna flop like drastically, and we had an argument about this, that you thought this game was gonna be and that it was gonna take off and stuff, and I told you right away that this is not gonna do good. It's been too long for them to come out with a new Halo. This shit's not gonna work.
I did say that, but I agree. Yeah, you did say that, but I did say that they definitely need to make a BR. They need to make it, and we can't say we didn't see it coming. We can't say we didn't see it coming.
Mike and I just had hopes for it. We didn't want to believe it.
I was praying,
you know how much I missed Halo?
Yeah.
I grinded the shit out of that game when it first came out too, and I played ranked everything. Like I played the shit out of that game, but it was just not. There was no audience or like friends like to play with on that.
Yeah,
So it was hard to continue to do.
It's not happening on that. Absolutely not.
I mean, I never owned an Xbox. I was always PlayStation. I was always a PlayStation guy, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I had all the PlayStations. Besides PS5 soon. PC now, that's why. Like I've always admired Halo from afar. It's always one of the Xbox games, Xbox originals that I've admired from afar. Yep. And this is my
only
first
argument they ever had, in my opinion.
It's the first.
I was a PlayStation gamer too.
This would have been this was my first experience with Halo, and I was excited. I was so excited for that, like because I had a PC, so I could play it. I was so excited for that. I got on it. I was having a whole bunch of fun. I remember like me and Noah's in the chat right now. Me and Noah, Jew hopped on that. Like we were all having fun on that. And for a while, and it just didn't, like we played a couple tournaments, and it just like it just tanked, and it's sad to see, because of the battle royale meta. It just fucking swallowed that shit alive. Like it's tough.
Yeah, no, it is.
But we'll see. There's other games coming out. Like we got games that we can be hopeful for. Somebody in chat just talked about multiverses. I've been playing
multiverses.
Has a lot of potential, and they better not fuck up and it's
Probably will, but let's
with
hope that they
with the
don't.
with the era of updates and stuff like that, we are so spoiled and opinionated when it comes to video games that
Mhm.
like that will flop so easily. They better not drop the ball.
It's kind of hard to drop the ball with that kind of game because of the fact that they have a wide range of characters they can introduce, which is all characters that we grew up watching basically. Which is why I think it's a whole different change. It's a change between Smash and this game is because we can relate more to this game, Multiverse.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. It just depends on like the kind of attention it gets. I feel like they need to do a lot of work. With marketing, they need to do more work with marketing and updates
Definitely.
and stuff like that. Because when
They
A lot of
need
people
to
don't know
get
about this game. They don't
those,
even know like how to get it. A lot of times, a lot of these people.
with
because but I feel
go
like a lot of that too is that, like we were saying earlier, is like the big influencers, content creators, streamers, YouTubers have a lot of influence and pull to what
Exactly.
does well, right? So I know, I mean, like I don't know, but if it were me, like looking in on it, like assuming Apex is paying whoever, giving them free gun skins, Fortnite, whatever, to keep them on the game, so more people play it and more people download it.
Absolutely.
So for that, and I feel like that's a reason that a lot of these games have flopped. Like Knockout City is like nobody was playing it, nobody was like getting into it, like that is, it's not getting put out there.
Yeah, and they did like when it originally dropped. I think it was before they dropped.
Are
I
you on
think it
your
was
speakers?
pre-drop.
Huh?
They did.
Do you have your speakers?
No.
Oh, it's echoing.
It says it's probably just like super loud.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, we getting a little bit of an echo. It wasn't really
Just
bothering me.
now?
Yeah,
Mhm.
like as we speak.
No, but like,
It's
did
very
it happen
quiet.
earlier?
No.
No.
I don't think so. No.
What the?
Test.
I think we're good.
Actually, is it just me?
Might be just you.
Yeah, it might
No,
just be you.
not just me. Not just me. It's not just you.
No.
Okay.
But I just feel like Knockout City did do a little bit like pre-launch. Like they I think the only person they reached out to was Nick Merckx. Nick Merckx hopped on that.
Yeah, he was the only person that I ever saw like on that game.
Yeah,
Like
he
before
hopped on it
it
for a
came
little
out.
bit.
That was the
Yeah.
only reason I downloaded it and was like excited about it.
Yeah, that shit was fire. Yeah, exactly. And so that proves that it did work. His influence did work because I downloaded it from watching him too. Because I had no idea about it. And after that, like the marketing, just I don't know if they didn't have enough money for it or like but I feel like that's the reason why they made it when it launched. You had to pay for it,
Right.
which a lot of people were not attracted to, which is weird
Because
because
there's so many games that are quote unquote free.
Yeah.
Well, they're never free. They're never free.
No,
You
they're
always
never
end up
free,
spending.
but it's not really like.
I have a
and it's
question
not
really
really
quick
weird.
for everybody.
Yeah, go for it.
So on this same topic, how we're talking about like some streamers or some people that play games that are popularized kind of killing a game by not liking it. Does that kill like your ability to want to play that game? Because as we're talking about like these good games that are being killed off by other people's opinions, I still see most of y'all playing BR games. So is that just generally because you like BR games, or is that because like you want to play along with the meta because you either want to or feel like you need to?
So I feel like in this kind of goes like hand in hand is that and I'm going to use Nick Merckx as an example here. He completely left Warzone, right? The game had gotten like so bad and it got to a point where I didn't enjoy playing it, and I knew that, but it was a big game at the time. So I was like, okay, well, I may not be enjoying it, but I can still like have fun, make content. And then like bigger creators, even though there's like issues with the game, they actually decided to like leave, right? Which in my opinion, that knocked Warzone down, having those people leave. So I do think there's a lot of influence there. Granted, I disliked the game for a while before it had even gotten to that point, but but it just kind of shows that, they do have pull to be able to leave a game, and he only streams like Apex now. I don't even know the last time I saw him on Warzone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that? I mean, you were kind of talking about Nick Merckx a lot. So like, do you play Valorant because like you just generally enjoy Valorant, or do you have an influence to play Valorant because you feel like it's a more popular game?
A little bit of both, because I'd never played a game like Valorant. So Valorant, when I first started playing it, absolutely hated. But I've always been a competitive person when it came to video games. You know, like I told the story before you like hopped in here, is that the thing that got me into online gaming was playing Halo and understanding that there was another kid my age or even an adult somewhere else in the US that I was pissing off. So after that, I was like, okay, we're playing online games. I'm on adults. So I've always been competitive, but I didn't like the direction like Warzone was going. I didn't like updates. I didn't like all the that was going on with him. And then I also, at the same time that that's happening, I'm noticing that Valorant is and has been the most popular game on Twitch. Right? It's consistently top for gaming, anyways, like top 3, top 4 at most. And it was also a game that I'd never played, so I hated it at first. But because I was so competitive, I continued to play it until I got to a point where I was like, okay, like I'm okay at this game, or like I enjoy playing it, or oh, there's like a market for content. Like I can do so much with it.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. All right. So I'll give you guys your last thoughts and stuff, and then we'll move on to the last and final topic. We'll start off with Mike.
I feel like we all came to an agreement on this. It's a pretty hot topic, but we all had pretty much the same opinions and stuff.
People,
like
devs, pretty much have all changed the aspect of video games.
People and devs are fucking up the games.
Yeah,
like, opinions being like all the gamers and like should being spoiled as a gaming community and an audience of like Twitch and like content creators and stuff like that, and the age of updates have fucked up online competitive gaming in a sense. There are people that still enjoy it, obviously, but it fucked up for a lot of people. And in terms of like other video games outside of that, people don't play those because of the fact that the big 3 BRs and the most popular games are as popular as they are, and the influence of content creators and streamers and like that. So when gaming not hitting the same and gaming not being the same as it used to be is, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your fault, as the gamer and as the content creator and streamer that you're trying to be. It's your fault.
Okay, now for the last topic going into this, best COD of all time. Now, my opinion on this is Black Ops 2. I loved Black Ops 2, the whole campaign. It had zombies, it had a great multiplayer, the competitive was great. That's what really got me into wanting to that's where I actually got my name, really from Wavy and stuff, because I ended up joining a team called Quantum, which is a YouTube team and stuff, and it was trick shotting and feeding, which was huge back then. And my original gamer tag was Ponyboy, which from the Outsiders, I don't know if any of you guys know that, but I knew I couldn't market myself through Ponyboy, so we ended up coming up with water names. I ended up coming up with Wavy, with the double Y and stuff. So that game really sits a lot like heavy with me, because that's where I kind of that's where content creating took me to another level with, with BO2. So, I think Mike over here, I already know his answer and stuff with what he thinks is the best Call of Duty. Now, don't get me wrong, it's good, but Black Ops 2, in my opinion, has
okay. Wait, I want to speak
made
on
it
this
so much better.
I feel like for him, it's all like what I'm saying. It's all like nostalgia and the fact that he came up on that game and he started content creating on that game. I feel like I feel like he has a bias behind that.
Yeah,
if we talking about,
understandably so, though. Understandable.
Yeah, understandable for sure.
I think all COD players kind of have a bias, because I think they all kind of have like a little bit of nostalgia with at least one of them.
Age and shit too. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like it's the age group that you group it into as well.
Exactly.
Me, for example, the first Call of Duty that I had ever played wasn't until I think Black Ops 1. So I even completely missed Modern Warfare 2. I still played it, but it wasn't like my game, because around that time is when I was still on Halo. So
okay.
And the only reason I stopped playing Halo was because my dad was like, all right, I'm not paying for Xbox Live anymore, so we're buying you a PlayStation because that shit's free. And I was like, and you know, at like 10 years old, I'm like, fuck, how do I make $60 a year to pay for my Xbox Live? So I couldn't say no. So that's when I started playing COD. So for me, that was like when I really enjoyed it, but it's hard for me to rank or put one at the top. And I think it was more so just that era of Call of Duty. Right, like that whole group. Like if you put Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2 in front of me, those 4 games, and ask me which one I wanted to play, I would have to look at every single one of them and be like, shit, I don't know. So I think just that entire era of Call of Duty, exactly. I think that's most, for me anyways, because I never played like any of the ones before that, so I have no idea what they were like. But for me, I feel like that was kind of like the prime for Call of Duty. You know, everything else building up to that was them getting a platform started. That's when they killed that shit. Everything after that, they fucked up. So like, that's.
So what's your favorite? Would you say out of those?
I don't know, because I'm with you with Black Ops 2 because they had like the competitive, they had the emblems, they had like the zombies, but I also really like Modern Warfare 3. So
okay, no.
What do you mean non?
Modern Warfare 3 was
Modern Warfare 3. You cannot deny this. Modern Warfare 3 was it was a refined version of Modern Warfare 2. Everything that was wrong with Modern Warfare 2 got fixed in Modern Warfare 3.
Let Maddie get hers out, and then we'll
just gonna say like a COD Ghost like Advanced Warfare.
Unfortunately, I don't have much to weigh in on this because I mean I played a little bit with my brothers. I played COD like before it was like a PC thing. So I was never a good controller shooter. I just couldn't. I got so frustrated with it, so I didn't really fuck with it enough to be like, oh, this is my shit.
Yeah.
I didn't really like hardcore play COD until literally Cold War. Like one of my mods gifted me. One? Yeah, literally. So, I got gifted one? Cold War and I got addicted to it. So I know that there's better versions out there, but I will weigh in this very generic opinion that just kind of like what Cam said, like whatever you came in on, you'll always kind of have an attachment to that.
So how we want to put this into perspective, when we talk about the best Call of Duty all the time, we're not talking like
overall aspect of it.
Exactly, the overall aspect, audience, like the peak, like when making montages and like like everybody was having fun with the game, everybody was trying to do this, everybody was trying to do that,
where it felt like a perfect game.
The guns were great. The guns were well balanced.
The guns were well balanced too.
Guns and like that. So what I feel like Modern Warfare 2 is the greatest Call of Duty of all time.
Okay, hold on.
Let me explain.
But I was gonna say, what game did you start off with first? Because we've already talked about what games.
I started off with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and I had a blast on that. Okay. I had a blast on Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and I put in days, and I told you already, like that was my first ever multiplayer experience. I put in days without showering, without eating on that video game. That was I was addicted. I was on crack. And once Modern Warfare 2 came out, and Call of Duty 4 is what started, like Call of Duty started going up. It started everything. You feel me? And then once Modern Warfare 2 came out, that like sent it into the stratosphere. It was a much more like refined and like amazing version of modern Call of Duty 4. So that's when people were popping out like FaZe and like I don't think it was FaZe. FaZe came out during that time, right?
Yeah, the Modern Warfare.
They were making montages and shit.
High Rise.
Optic. All the fucking YouTube clans and shit like that, jumping out of the side of High Rise, doing the High Rise glitch, Intervention, UMP, Scar, like all these guns became popular because of those. Exactly. Those are some of the most popular guns that everybody knows, and those guns came from the Modern Warfare series. I would say Modern Warfare 3 was cool too, but nothing will beat that Modern Warfare 2 experience. I feel like, in my opinion, nothing will beat that.
I think one thing we can agree on, the Modern Warfare 2 was way better than Modern Warfare 3. The fact that this guy threw out Modern Warfare 3 as a game that everyone's like, no.
Okay, as a game, I'm not going to deny the experience, right? I'm not going to deny the fact that you probably had more fun. That's what kicked everything off, and that's like what was good like about it. But that's all feeling. When it came to like the actual like game itself, I think it was a more refined version. Like you didn't have like the glitches, you didn't have like spawn tube and all that. Like it was a better overall game. I'm not saying I had more fun on Modern Warfare 3 or whatever, but I think it was a better overall game.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from with that, but if you're talking about like audience, like experience, the audience's opinion, like where like where they've had the most, well, not I would say had the most fun. I guess I could say that, and I just feel like Modern Warfare 2 is that game when it comes to like when it comes to like what you think about peak Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Black Ops 2 just wasn't like that. It just did not match that energy. It didn't match that. Like what jumping out of the window inside a high rise and killing yourself and getting the game-winning, round-winning clip, 360 YY no scope, throwing knife cancel. Silent scope.
They had all that. They had all that and more in Black Ops 2, didn't they? Shock charge,
the shock charge cancel, flipping it up in the air and catching it and stuff. I thought that was a really cool. The YY insta swap. I mean, bro, that was.
You wouldn't even have had what snipers did y'all have in Black Ops?
DSR and
Ballista.
So when we think like Call of Duty snipers, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Come on.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just saying which game was better and that I had more fun on. For me, it was those games.
Okay. In terms of like personal
Car 98
experience. Car 98. Car 98. Car 98 is low key like a spawn of another version of like an intervention. Like it's very similar.
Yeah.
When we talk about like we can go through the guns, we can go through the different types of guns. When we talk about ARs, what's the first thing you think of? Call of Duty ARs. What do you think of?
Scar.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
SMGs. What do you think of?
USMC.
You don't think of no MSMC?
Yeah.
Bro. Like
I'm scared to see your Black Ops 2 creative class menu.
No.
I wanted to ask y'all because there's a new COD coming out. How high are your expectations?
Extremely.
It's named after the greatest Call of Duty of all time.
That's
okay.
Not the greatest Call of Duty of all time, but we have high hopes for this one.
Okay, but here's the thing though. Every Call of Duty player goes through the same bullshit every year. Where it's, this is going to be such a good game. This is going to be so great. Oh, I'm going to love this. This is going to be amazing. It comes out.
With the nostalgia maps and everything, I think it's going to be hard to mess this up. You're going to bring back a lot of community and stuff that grew up on this.
What's holding hopes for me is that Cold War was they knew that. Yeah. Vanguards would they knew that. That's kind of where they were before Modern Warfare 2019 came out, right? Call of Duty was before that. They hit them with the revival. Modern Warfare 2019 brought it all back, so I think they have to do something crazy here. And it has to be good.
Name on it, everything with because they know that everything with the Modern Warfare.
Okay, throw Black Ops then into it, like a remake of Black Ops, and see what happens with it also, because Black Ops has always done really good too, all the way up to 4. And then you hit
Cold War, Black Ops Cold War.
Okay, Cold War wasn't bad. Cold War wasn't bad. It was clunky, a little clunky, but
we tried to bring back the Black Ops name and it failed.
All right, we'll remaster Black Ops 2 then.
The opinion that I have on people that enjoyed Cold War, especially if you went from Modern Warfare 2019, which was a very fast-paced game. Time to kill was like instant, right? Completely crazy. Cold War as a game was slow movement, long time to kill. So if you played that game and enjoyed it, it's because your brain could not move fast enough to enjoy the game before it.
Hey, yo, why you gotta call me out like that?
Because it's true. Every person that
no, it's because I'm not a competitive gamer. Like I don't really with games that move that fast. That's why I
more casual game.
No, yeah, I like casual games. It makes sense.
But I feel like they're doing a lot. Developers of this next game are doing a lot to. I feel like every year they know that the hype dies down eventually. The first 2 months, the first 3 months.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
So they're doing a lot. They're talking about like aren't they talking about like a new like battle royale experience and like they're doing a lot to hype this one up. They're making a lot of promises, and that's what's keeping the hope alive. And I feel like the name is huge too, because of the
And
fact that there hasn't been a Modern Warfare flop in a minute. There has been no Modern Warfare flops. To be honest with you, there's been no Modern Warfare flops.
mhm.
Can I ask a question that like slightly changes the subject?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think?
What do y'all think was the best console?
PlayStation 2. That's
Okay,
a great discussion.
I literally just said that to my chat. Okay, we are on the same
PlayStation 2.
mindset. Okay, bet.
PlayStation 2.
Deadass, like I don't think there's
You better not
anything
be in
that
the
beats
Xbox
the amount
section.
of games
There's
and
no
the
way.
quality of
360.
games on.
I think the 360 was better than the PlayStation 3. I
PlayStation 3
think
was better,
the
but
PS2 was better than the original
PlayStation 3
Xbox.
I think PlayStation 2 is still the top sold console all time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, I had way more games, PlayStation 2 and everything, but I think I'm just talking about like enjoying it though. Like a console that I actually fully enjoyed had to be the games that I actually could play with my friends and stuff, which is online. I didn't play online with
Which was
on
the
PS2, so
360.
I played Xbox 360 or PS3 or PS4. So, but I heard that there was a lot more that you could do in Xbox 360 and stuff, and the Xbox 360 was better than PS3.
It's boomers versus children right now. Like,
Is
it's two different mindsets. We're thinking about just like growing up playing the game and like thinking about like the actual quality of the
Well, no, that
games and
was
like
the-
what we're playing, and then they're thinking about like the online aspect of it, which
Yeah.
I was just thinking about.
Well, that was the
gameplay.
console that I started on. Was
No,
a
I can't play
PlayStation
online.
2.
I started on a PlayStation 1.
Yeah, I had a PlayStation 1,
Or
to
maybe
be honest.
was the
You can't-
PlayStation 1 the gray one?
It
had,
was
like,
gray
the
and it had like a
Yeah.
little disc
Okay.
that popped
Yeah.
open,
Okay,
and
never
yeah.
mind, it was that
No,
one.
yeah. Spyro the Dragon,
Yep.
Mhm.
Rayman, Crash.
Crash
Yeah.
Bandicoot. Yeah.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
I fucking smacked at Tekken.
Tekken.
Tekken 2. I had Tekken 5. I only had Tekken 5, if I'm not mistaken. I only got Tekken 5.
Oh, I had all of
Tekken
them.
5,
That was my like a new Tekken came out and I was like, I'm
Tekken
there.
was cool. I wasn't huge on fighting games. I was never
Was-
good at fighting games. But, fighting games.
San
were
Andreas was on
PS2.
PlayStation 2
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that is true. Oh man, I
That's-
love San Andreas.
There's
What
was
such
the
good
other
games
one?
that came out on
God of,
PS2.
God of
Prime.
War,
Yes.
Ratchet and Clank. Yeah.
Oh, Ratchet and
So
Clank.
many
fucking
amazing
lit.
originals.
Metal
Yes.
Gear Solid,
I think that's
Yeah,
where
Metal
like
Gear.
most games like got their start was PlayStation 2.
Kingdom
Exactly.
Hearts. I'm just
Kingdom Hearts
okay.
2?
Now they're
Oh
just
my
now they're
God.
all
Kingdom
just
Hearts 2?
now they're all just coming to my head.
Kingdom Hearts 2, we
Final
only asked y'all
Fantasy,
your favorite
Sly.
video game of all time. Exactly. We only
Jak and
asked y'all
Daxter.
your favorite video games of all time.
Yeah.
My favorite video game of all time is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Kingdom Hearts 2, like it just did something to me emotionally. That game will forever be in my heart. I just started playing that again, Kingdom Hearts 2 on a PC. I downloaded a PC like last week, and I rarely
Was it
do
a
this.
newer game? When did that come out?
Kingdom Hearts 2 came out about 2005. It just came. The whole
I
series
thought they
came to
just
PC.
okay. Yeah, I thought they
just
just
came to PC,
released like a new. Is
Yeah,
it like a remastered?
they released one. They released Kingdom Hearts 3 about
3 years ago?
4 or
okay.
5 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're coming out with 4. They just released the teaser trailer for 4. The gameplay looks insane. It's probably gonna take another 2 years to come out though. But I just and this is something that anybody like a lot other people can weigh in on too. Is sort of changing the topic again. Is I downloaded Kingdom Hearts 2 a couple like 2 weeks ago, and with what I do, like I never have time for personal gaming. I never have time for that
Nope.
shit. I never have time.
I
for
get
personal
asked to play off stream, play games all the time, and I'm like, I can't. Like,
And the only time, like, if I'm gonna play a multiplayer game, like, I'm not gonna play it. Like if I'm playing with other people, I'm streaming. And I never realized like the value of like
grinding through a
how
single
good
player
it
game
is.
like that.
Like not even that, just kicking my feet up and get and just going through the single player experience again. Like I was having so much fun. I even posted on the Instagram story, like, yo, I'm excited playing shit. And like I was having a blast, bro. Like I decided to take a break and You know, I had a couple videos lined up. I didn't have anything that I needed to edit right away. So I decided to kick my feet up, play some Kingdom Hearts. And I'll tell you that I had so much fun doing that. Like, it took me back. It was good talking to y'all.
Yeah, it was good talking to you guys.
No, it was nice meeting you, Mike. I've never seen your content or talked to you before, so this is dope. It was a great first experience.
You hop on
Appreciate
Val
it.
after
Nice
this.
meeting
What's
you.
up?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys in the next one, possibly. Maybe another one.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully in the future. We'll see.
Absolutely.
All right. Later, guys.
Have a good night.
Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure entertaining you guys. That is TD Rantz episode 1 for Team Diverge. Hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you guys in the next episode for episode 2. Peace out, guys.
Yeah, either with me or you're not. Pick a side, we don't play in the middle. Number one rule being little. Mosh spitting on your middle. I done spent too many days worried about somebody else that be tripping on why. That's just too many days that everyone's seeing how I'm getting mine.